of relaunching, that's where you tell everyone you know, if you got an email, phone number, whatever, everyone you're connected with, you let them know what you now do. So your social media, all of that changes. So the new branding shows up on all your social media, all of your connections. You send out an announcement. You can even do a PR, a press release if you want, but you send out an announcement to everyone who's connected to you. If it's appropriate, you thank them for supporting the old brand. Like, thank you for supporting me for the last 25 years as I've done da-da-da-da-da-da. Because of our relationship, I wanted to let you know that I'm moving into a new season and I'm offering these new things or whatever. And I would also get them to re-opt in for those who are on your email list by giving them something of value from the new brand. So when they do that, they're re-opting into the list because there may not be an interest, you know, and you want to make sure that the people you're taking along with you are people who really want to go with you into the new. And so the people who need to die off and be disconnected, that they do that, right? So I would, it's like let everybody you know what you now do. As you're doing it, let them know, right, what you're doing. I'm at WEN, da-da-da-da-da. And then when it's over, let them know what you've done. And when I learned these 5 strategies that I wanted to also share with you, because it may create a breakthrough for you. So now you have a reason to be in front of them more frequently with the new, because you're telling them what you do, what you're doing, and what you've done. Does that make sense? I find that that's just a simple, I can give you a lot of like, without working with you and knowing intimately what you're doing, it's hard for me to kind of give you a plan on the spot, but that's a simple, high-level concept or process that almost anybody can follow. Okay. Make sense?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, question over here?
No, I want to give a go. Good morning. My name is Antoinette Brady, and I am the co-owner of a home renovation firm named TRB Home Solutions, and we provide homes for the traditionally underprivileged, but with the quality that you see on HGTV. Check us out.
Thank you for sharing.
So did I miss something? Is everyone doing an introduction?
What?
No.
Okay.
You want some feedback on,
Okay.
yeah, she wants feedback.
So, one of the things I always say is that when you're introducing yourself, people don't always care what you do until they realize how it's connected to them. So I typically don't like, now when I'm popping up to ask a question, I state my name, say what I do, and ask the question. But if I'm introducing myself to someone, I usually don't start with my name and the name of my company, because guess what, they don't care. They're not going to even remember in most cases. But if I start off with something like, and we're just, we're meeting for the first time, and you say, hey, Lydia, so, what do you do, or whatever. I like to start with framing what I do in a way that's very relevant to the person that I'm talking to. So I may say something like, oh, Lydia, what do you do? I'm glad you asked. I meet people every day who have brilliance inside of them, but for some reason they're unable to really tap into it, package it, and share it with the world in a way that lets them get paid well for what they do. As a branding and market domination strategist, or I would say my name is Lydia Owens, and as a market domination strategist, I work with people to help them overcome that block and barrier. And when clients work with me, what they find is they get higher fees for what they do, they retain the customers they have, and they magnetically attract the clients that they will put on this earth to serve. So because I started with your pain, now you're interested in who I am and what my title is and who I serve and how they benefit, right? But if I start off with my name and my title, my company, and da-da-da-da, it's just noise until people can latch on to something that hits them at home, right? So you might start with something like, hi, tell me, who you are, what do you do? Oh, I'm glad you asked. What was your name again? Give me my brain is. Antoinette. Okay, because I was going to say Tony for some reason. Do people call you Tony? Not good, okay. So don't call her Tony. Look, don't call her Tony. She's Antoinette. So that requires a relationship. Right, okay. So if someone say, hey, what do you do, whatever, you might say, I'm glad you asked. I believe that everyone who desires a home should be able to live in a home, and my passion is to make that affordable for them. My husband and I own, see how, now you're kind of setting the stage for the fact that you have a passion for helping people who want a home, help them get in the home by providing an affordable option for them, right? And then you can say, my name is Antoinette, my husband and I own so-and-so company, and what we do is we buy homes, we flip them, but we don't flip them with the focus of trying to make the most money. We flip them with a focus of trying to create an opportunity for someone who probably couldn't afford a home to buy a home at below market value while still making a profit to be able to invest in the next property.
And you know what? I thought it was too many words. And, okay, so you
And
told
so,
me I'm not using too
I'm
many
glad that
words.
she said that, because 30 seconds, like what I share with you, when I share with you like who I am, that was less than 30 seconds. It should be 30 seconds or less, and it depends on the environment and the relationship. If you're sitting next to someone, right, and you're waiting for the conference to start, and they're like, oh, what do you do? What I just shared is, so can someone time me real quick? Can someone pull out their phone? I'm gonna give it to you again and tell you how many seconds it is. Someone?
I can do it. I had mine already recording.
Okay.
I can just start it over. Okay, hold on just a second. Good. I am on the clock. Sorry. Okay, I think I'm ready. Go ahead.
Okay, you go ahead and start when I go, right?
It has
So somebody
started.
asks me what I do, and then when
Okay.
I start talking is when you hit.
Okay, got it. So what do you do?
I'm glad you asked. I believe that everyone who desires a home should be able to live in a home. And it's my passion, my husband and I's passion to make that affordable. My husband and I own blah, blah, blah company. And what we do is we buy properties below value, we flip them, and sell them below market value to people who really want to be in a home. It's our passion to be able to give them that opportunity and make enough profit to pour into the next home. And we believe that we're, revitalizing our community. How many seconds?
32 seconds.
32 seconds. And I rambled a little bit, because I don't know your thing like you know your thing. You can probably get that down to 18 seconds, 20 to 18 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's give Lethea. So again, when we actually kind of round robin after lunch, then you'll have an opportunity to speak with each person on a more specific basis to try to get more input for your specific business or brand. Okay? All right, the next person I want to introduce you to is just an amazing woman, extremely knowledgeable about marketing and branding. And when she and I were talking, the first thing I told her is I felt that most people that were going to be here really first and foremost needed to know what their marketing plan is. You ever heard if you fail to plan, then plan to fail? It's in anything you do, including developing your marketing message and your marketing strategy. So please help me welcome Michelle Stoner. Why do I keep saying Michelle? Monique. I'm sorry. Because I was looking at Michelle. That's why. That's what it was. I'm looking at Michelle. Monique.
Thank you. Monique Stoner. Good morning, ladies. I believe that there is brilliance inside of every woman that's sitting in this room. No matter who you are, where you come from, no matter what life has thrown you in your way, no matter what you are faced with right now, there's brilliance inside of you. I want you to look at the lady next to you and tell her that I'm a diamond. I'm a diamond in the rough. In the rough. Okay? That's why I started Gemstone Branding, is because I wanted to be able to show every woman that you are brilliant. There is something inside of you that you need to bring to the world. And we want to show you not only how to let that brilliance shine, but I want to show you how to let the world know on a bigger stage who you are, what you do, and how awesome you are. So I am just excited to be here with you today, and we're going to talk just for a moment about marketing. And before I get into the business side of marketing, I want to just talk about who I am. Because some of you heard a little bit of it yesterday. But Lethea and I were talking this morning, and so based on your question, I want to make sure that people do have a better understanding of who I am. You know, the woman, and why this is such a passion for me, and why I know that what I'm doing is what God has called me to do. You're looking at someone who, even though I work for major corporations, and I've worked for Deloitte, I've worked for KPMG, you're looking at a high school dropout. You're looking at someone that I was born into a household with 2 functioning alcoholics who were abusive, who kicked me out on the street at 15. At 15, I was homeless. I was living in abandoned buildings, in cars that happened to have a door open. And God blessed me to meet someone, a man who an Italian man, gave me, and I'm from Atlanta, but he gave me an opportunity to work under the table at a pizza parlor. He made pizza, I had to wash dishes, and I got paid under the table. But his wife was a licensed clinical social worker, and she was the director of an inpatient treatment center for adolescents. So she said to me, when she found out that I was homeless, she found out that what I was doing with her husband, she said, I'm going to give you a job that will pay you enough to take care of yourself. But you have to make me one promise. She said, you're too smart not to get an education. So if I help you, promise me that you'll go to school and you'll get your education. So throughout that time, when I turned 16, I became a mother. In fact, I was a mother homeless. When I was pregnant, I was homeless. When I called to go to my first appointment for the pregnancy, they said, do you think you're pregnant? I said, no, I know I'm pregnant. They said, well, how far along do you think you are? I said, oh, 6 months. They said, well, can you come in right now? And, so I went through all of that, and I made that promise to her, and I kept that promise. I eventually went and got my high school diploma. When I got married, I had, as my 2 sons and my husband, when they would sleep at night, I would be, studying for my college courses. I have 2 master's degrees. The first master's degree I got in clinical psychology, and I actually became a therapist. I was a licensed professional counselor, still am today. But then I got tired of listening to people tell me all the reasons why they couldn't stop getting drunk every night. So I was an alcohol and drug abuse counselor. So I went back to school and got an MBA. And then I went into the administrative side of business, and I love it. So what I do today is I merge the 2. But when I tell you that God took this high school dropout, this young girl from College Park, Atlanta. How many of you are from Georgia, from the Atlanta area? So you know College Park?
I'm from College Park.
Okay, you're from College Park. Okay, so you know. Raised in College Park, but God has blessed me. When I first started out, after I got my degree, the second degree actually, and I began working, I was in Maryland at the time. I moved to the Maryland, D.C. area. God just showed me the favor that He will give you when you're obedient and you do the things He tells you to do.
Amen.
Because I started working for someone, and she had me initially just do the administrative work for the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Administration. And she said, I want you to help me with the quality and the compliance work, and that was really my title at the time. But the more that I showed her what I could do, she kept promoting me. She kept giving me more money. She kept increasing my position. And then one day she asked me to speak at an event for the state of Maryland. It was at the Capitol, and it was for National Drug Abuse Awareness Month or something of that nature. When I was speaking, lo and behold, I didn't know this, but the lieutenant governor at the time was Kathleen Kennedy Townsend. Mm-hmm. She was there. She heard me speak, and she had her assistant come find me. And her assistant brought me to her, and she said, I want to hire you. She said, I want you to lead my drug abuse treatment task force for the state. Wow. And to this day, she and I are still friends. She's retired, obviously, but we still talk to each other. She's still a mentor to me. But I thank God for that opportunity, because that opportunity led me then to another opportunity with United Healthcare, where they actually put me at 28 years old in my first C-suite role. I was a chief operating officer for one of their plans in the Maryland, D.C. area, and I was just amazed that I didn't know anything about leadership. But I knew how, you know what, I knew how to fake it till I make it at the time. And I knew how to just demonstrate my passion and show what I knew how to do. And so again, long story short, I went from C-suite position to C-suite position, and I finally went into consulting. Someone from Deloitte, a partner, met me one day from Deloitte and said, how would you like to be a consultant? And instead of doing this for one company, you can do it for several. So that's how I became a consultant. And I was with Deloitte for 7 years, and for all those years that I was there working with multiple corporations across multiple countries, I was traveling the world, they kept, one level below a partner, they kept telling me, you're not quite ready to be a partner. Not quite ready. Thank you for making us $30 million last year, but you're not quite ready to be a partner. So someone told me, okay, well, why don't you go to KPMG? Because then you're guaranteed to make a partner. I got to KPMG 3 years ago. Now it's about almost 3.5 years. Same thing. It's, thank you, Monique, you did a great job. We like all that money that you brought us and all those new clients that you're bringing us, but guess what? We think you're just not ready. You need to sit under us for a while. And I started adding up, and saying, okay, if I'm making them 30, 40, all these millions a year, why am I doing this, continuing to do this for them? And I really started praying and saying, God, what would you have me to do? And God said that everything I have given you, everything I've shown you, everything I've put in you for corporations, I want you to take that and I want you to share that with women. I want you to share that with entrepreneurs, and that's why I'm here today. I've actually been a consultant in the past, independent consultant outside of Deloitte and KPMG, but life has thrown me some curveballs, and life has really, taken me down into some valley experiences. And I started a long time ago. That's actually when I met Lethea for the first time. I actually talked to her on the phone and followed her for a while when I had an online radio show. I did a lot of things, online in terms of teaching entrepreneurial women, and then went through a crisis. I had lupus. I went through a health crisis, got out. Just kept my corporate job, and then I decided, okay, now's the time that I need to relaunch myself and come back out and help women. So that's why I'm here, and I'm excited to be here. So I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I think we're going to tag team a little bit because you're going to come after and talk about the packaging. But I just want to go over a few things with you on marketing. And this is going to be 10 essential elements of brilliant marketing. Now, one of the ladies that works with me is here, Atala Moore, and this is a joke of mine. You're going to see elements of my brand throughout everything that I do. I actually believe in brilliance. I like elegance. I like things that are upscale. My friends say that I'm a bit bougie. They call me boujambo. I'm sorry. They always say boujambo. I think that I have a little bit more ratchetness in me than bouginess, but they tell me that that's a lie. That's all in my head. But you can't be raised in College Park and not have a little bit of I call it ratchet refined. So before we get into this, let me ask a quick question of all of you ladies who have businesses, and I know that you've been probably working hard with branding and marketing. What do you think is the main reason why we market? What is the purpose of marketing?
So that people will know who you are and what you offer. To attract.
That's part of the reason for marketing.
Make money to sell the product.
And to set your image too, I think. Like
To set the image?
Set your image, yeah.
Okay. For marketing.
To make money.
To make money. Kind of so then let me ask you another question, and then I'm going to merge the two. What is the purpose of branding?
Effective marketing.
To attract the right audience.
So that people know who you are?
Right. Setting you apart.
Marketing, you're just trying to make $1, but branding, you're trying to go there. You're trying to really take it to a whole different level.
But can you move one, thank you. Okay, so marketing is really all about, and I think I heard Lisa say it over here, is really trying to attract the interest or garner the interest of potential clients and customers. So when you have products and services that you're offering, you want them to be interested in it because you want to make a sale and you want to make money. So marketing is really all about attracting customers. Okay, your brand, when you're talking about branding, so there's a difference between your brand and branding. So the brand is what it is, you know, that's who you are, what you stand